Okay, we're just recording. This is episode 2 of Let's Try and Live. We're currently in a mansion house, and I'm going to just let it all flow as we go. I think we're still waiting for one more person. So yeah, it's all going to be all fun today. Okay, thank you. Just for everyone's reference, I have started the recording.
Okay. Let's start looking as if we can do something in a few minutes then.
Yep. Anybody has any words of wisdom they want recorded for time immemorial, now's your moment.
Never consent to being recorded.
I'm pretty sure I've never had
Sage-like advice.
one little thing, they added a new feature to Fantasy Grounds. If you're not seeing the map and you double click on the token on your character sheet in the right hand corner, it'll bring the map up.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, that's quite new. That's quite handy.
Does anybody know how to load the theme for Dungeons and Dragons?
I don't. I felt pretty happy I could find my character sheet.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
I think, so if you want a different theme, that's something I think that since you're logging into my version, it's something that I set. I don't think user player can play on different settings, different extensions.
Oh, so if you had put in that this theme is available, then okay.
Yeah.
It would have to be like a whole. Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's one problem solved.
Okay, so with 5 of us here, so I think we're just missing 2 then. Let me give you a quick recap, push that map through again. Okay, so as if you can recall from last session then, you'd been asked to help rescue Cordelia Montacure, who apparently has been kidnapped by some despicable kidnappers. Go figure. And the exchange, a sizable ransom was demanded, and the exchange is due to take place at the location you're at now, which is an old abandoned asylum. The asylum has been in the Montacure family for many, many, many generations, was abandoned after a fire, and has been left lurking atop Beacon Hill for a good 50, 60 years since the terrible fire which brought about the destruction of the upper floor. You've come to the old asylum accompanied just by the trusty retainer Threnlo, who some of you are a little bit suspicious about.
Oh, yes.
You've explored much of the lower level. Oh, sorry, this ground floor. Certainly you've explored all of the western wing, and you've now ventured into the eastern wing. Apart from a few spiders and a few mementos of the asylum's previous inhabitants, you've discovered little apart from the presence of some strange yellow-robed men who have been less than welcoming to your presence. In fact, the office that you just stand in, or what used to be an office, is where you've recently fought a couple of these cultists. And you've killed them. Apart from their yellow robes and some wickedly curving knives, the only thing of any note that they carry are strange iron bells, which they carry on their waists. Threnlo remains at the door. You'll recall that just to your south there seems to be some sort of open area that Grundar, your stout dwarven cleric, is keeping an eye on. In the office are Frex, Brian, and Emma, the rogue, but you also, and Rogan, the barbarian. You can also see, however, trussed up in the corner, 2 other characters, or 2 other figures. Both have been gagged, both have been beaten up slightly. Both appear to be unconscious. And I'll drag their tokens over now if I can. Yeah.
I don't see our draconic.
No, I'm just about to drag the token over. Tokens over.
I meant his portrait. I didn't see it in the upper left.
No, so we've got. There we go, and that's what I'm looking for.
Is Rogdan who we're missing?
I'm just checking out. Yes, we're missing Rogdan. Actually, we're missing two. So we're missing Rogdan
And Crispy.
and we're missing Crispy by the looks of it.
Okay.
Okay, so who else have we got? Torrendale. Let me just make sure I've got everybody on the combat tracker. 3. Okay. And I think.
Hey, Frex, are you still second level?
I should not be. I thought I fixed it. Stuart, I was trying to load my my Ranger module, and I tried dragging it over, so I accidentally put myself to level 2, but I think I fixed it.
I wouldn't worry about it, to be honest, for the sake of the game.
It still says 1, so I'm hoping that's... Yeah, it says total level 1.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
So, yeah, so your hit points look to be fine. Yeah, your hit points are a little bit high, I think.
Oh, maybe that's what I did.
Yeah, have a look at that. So your max is at 20.
What's everyone else got? Just so I'm in line.
You should be probably at about a 10 or a 12.
Okay.
So just drop that, and we can always adjust for the next session. Okay, folks. So
I was going to say
why don't we
2.
get started then? We're missing just Crispy, the rogue, and so that would be Emma. So let me just put Emma outside just so I can keep track of who is and who isn't playing. And the other person we're missing is we've got Frex, we've got Brian. There we go. It's Rogdan. Thank you very much. Okay. So, folks, you've got 2 characters, Trust in the corner. One looks to be an elf, and the other looks to be human of some description, though there's something slightly unworldly about the human who lies unconscious next to the elf who similarly lies unconscious on the floor. The rest of the asylum is quiet. You can distantly see through the windows that storm clouds are gathering overhead. A heavy snowstorm is probably imminent.
Okay.
The air is noticeably cool in here thanks to the there's a few holes in the ceiling which there's been an effort to board them up, but the night chill is beginning to creep into the asylum. Hence the efforts of the 2 cultists that you killed, obviously, to light a fire. You've searched the bodies and found little of any value except these strange old iron bells, complete with iron clappers. But there doesn't seem to be anything else in the room apart from these 2 Trust figures who are beginning to struggle and come round slightly.
Okay, I'll move over to them and see if I can undo their binds.
Okay.
Is the human, sorry Stuart, is the human female, can we tell?
Yes. The elf is male, the human is female.
Plot thickens.
But definitely not Cordelia. Cordelia, if she looks anything, would have quite dark hair, dark features, whereas the woman that you can see in front of you is not sort of petite and dark. She's muscular, lean, muscular, angular would be a better description, I suppose, and with pale hair. Though it's difficult to tell, given the way that she's been left trussed, but she is beginning to come round.
Okay, yeah, I'll try to loosen their bonds.
Okay. Frex, you begin to loosen bonds. Grundar, can I have a perception roll, please? You stand out in a corridor. Corridor heads off towards the east with a large door. You suspect the openings that you can see along the southern wall and along an eastern wall all possibly lead into a courtyard. As you stand anxiously on guard, though the monastery is still, you think you can faintly hear voices from off towards the west. Perhaps the other side of the courtyard, you're not sure. The voices are very, very faint, but you thought you could hear a woman's shout. Whether out of anger or fear, you can't tell, Grundar.
Okay, well, I will relay that to everybody else since they're in the other room.
Okay.
Does anybody else want to watch from that direction while I try to get these guys loose?
I'm just wondering if we might be a little bit cautious with these two guys so we know what they're about.
It's okay. I've already taken all the money they had on them. So.
Joke's on you. It's 3 coppers.
Emma will probably come and stand guard near Brian. Rob Dan will also wait out in the corridor as well. Within a few minutes, Brex, you release the bindings that have been used to truss the elf and the human. The elf is robed rather than armoured, so you suspect some form of sage or mage or seer of some description. Elves are not common in this part of the world, so you suspect that whoever this person is, he's been drawn here through curiosity, or he's been captured by these strange yellow-robed figures.
Okay.
Frex, you notice, however, as you untruss both of them, there are 2 small bolts that dislodge from both of the figures. Both bolts are quite short, didn't penetrate to any depth, but are very odd because of their short length, and also the fact that they clearly couldn't have done much damage, so why fire them in the first place?
We almost wonder if they came from a collapsible crossbow we may have seen already.
Interesting, that. Very, very possible.
I knew we should have killed them before we left. But we weren't level 2 yet.
No, you weren't. The female that you untruss is armoured. She's wearing a chain shirt, and as she begins to stir, her hand moves to what looks like a rather vicious-looking double-headed battle axe just to her left.
Well, that solves that problem. I was wondering if they had their weapons. Okay, I tell them, we're not here to hurt you, we're here to help. But I think we might have some trouble coming soon, so if you're able to fight, you might want to get up slowly.
Hey, I'm not sure I remember what happened. I'll do what I can.
That's all we're doing here.
The mage gets to his feet. All he can tell you is that he and his companion were journeying across the hills about half a mile west of here. It was quite late at night. They paused their horses when they heard what sounded like a cry for help. moved cautiously towards the cry for help, and then felt the impact of these bolts that you can see now lying on the floor. Drawing weapons and preparing spells, they readied themselves for an attack that never came. For a few minutes, they actually fell unconscious. So the bolts were obviously poisoned with something.
I'll grab one of the bolts and just put it in my pack in case we need to use it against him later.
Okay.
Make sure it's the one that fits his crossbow. And then I'll ask them, the voice you heard, the cry for help, did it sound like a child?
No, sounded male, but slightly higher pitched than they'd normally expect. Slightly high pitched male voice.
Okay. Do you hear anything else, Grundar?
Grundar, give me another perception roll, please. Grundar moves back down the corridor and then pops back and says, no, everything seems to be quiet now.
Okay. If you two feel a little better and able to fight, we're going to press on if that's all right.
Okay. We're now
absolutely prepared to help to the best that I can.
If it's a fight, you can count me in.
That's what I needed to hear. Okay, so let's decide. Do we want to go probably clear this room to the north so we don't have any openings at our back?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, Frex, you can lead the way.
Okay.
As you move past, can you just remind me who torch?
It was Threnlo had the torch in the back.
Okay, so Threnlo is the sort of one of your guards, or rather the retainer that has come along with you. He's quite happy to stay at the back and hold the torch, but he's very eager that you make the trade over, or the you hand over the ransom as soon as you can. So he's getting a bit fidgety that you are searching and clearing everything room by room. But when you ask him, well, where would you go? He shrugs. We don't really know. We suppose what you're doing is right, but we've got to get that lady back as soon as we can.
We're working on it. We're working on it. I feel like we're getting close.
As you move past the corridor, or as you move along the corridor, you get a glimpse into the courtyard beyond. It was clearly at some point some form of strange treatment area or exercise yard. It's now totally open to the elements because the roof has completely collapsed. There are jagged timbers that have fallen inside. Great lumps of plaster and masonry have also tumbled inside. But amongst all of that, you can see what look like some rather macabre iron cages, some manacles, some chains, and also what looks like a large bed with leather straps on it.
This is a terrible place.
Frex, you stand outside the door. Give me a perception roll, please.
Yes. Oh, I'm starting in the classic Frex rolls.
As far as you can tell, the room is empty. Certainly there's no light that you can see coming from underneath the door. So it's probably unoccupied.
Okay. Does anybody want to come up over to me while I open the door?
Yeah, I will.
All right. I very undramatically push open the door slowly.
Okay. Regan Life and obviously Torrendale, if you want to move your token as and when you want, we're not going in initiative order at this stage, we're just sort of following along behind Frex, as it were. So if you want to position your tokens where you want. Opening the door cautiously, Frex. It's clearly an office at some point, and is perhaps still being used. Crates and barrels line most of the far wall. There also have some desks and tables, though these have been damaged and have been now stacked against the wall to your left to allow access to the stores at the far end of the room. There's a faint smell of lamp oil, and you can see what looks like a smashed lantern on the floor in front of you. It's spilt the contents of oil onto the floor, hence the smell. Though the oil is seeping away, it still clings quite tenaciously to the flagstones in front of you. Slippery, and as long as you're careful with your flame, it shouldn't prove too much of a threat. But this room is obviously being used.
Do we want to check or do we want to keep moving?
Let's keep moving for now. There's nothing that's going to hurt us or help us find the lady.
Okay, do you want to move into the courtyard?
Yeah.
Before we enter, should we extinguish the flames on our torches? I can provide us light if we need.
That would be good. I think there's a couple of us that have dark vision, but for those that don't, it would be a big help. Thank you.
So, Torrendale,
I can cast light also if you guys need it.
Okay.
So then we're good.
Okay, so Torrendale, you're casting a light cantrip, I assume?
Yes.
Okay. And okay, so that will give you, so that allows you to, so Threnlo puts out the torch, but is obviously a little bit reluctant to do so. He quite likes having his own light source. Now, obviously, he's
sticking close to us.
Stay close.
Could I cast the light spell on his torch?
You can do, yes.
That'll make him feel special, at least.
So it's like a torch, only
only with no fire.
That's right.
Like a torch, only it won't send your beautiful coif.
The courtyard, or whatever it is, that's full of rubble, makes movement quite difficult. But you can see that there is the passageway continues all the way around the outside. There is a much wider passageway, however, that leads to the old Flint Tower. The Flint Tower that stands to the east of the asylum predates the building by a good couple of 100 years, made of a very, very different material, flint, namely, whereas the asylum is made of man-made or certainly cut stone, granite and sandstone, you suspect. There is a set of double doors to the south and another set of double doors that lead probably into the Flint Tower. It's quiet and still, and the snow is beginning to fall.
Shall we check the doors to the south, since the tower is going to probably lead us up?
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay.
We can do that.
The doors have been locked here, so Emma will step up and pick the lock for you, or attempt to pick the lock. But before she does so, she'll probably have a check to see if it's tracked. Just call up her character sheet. I'll do that for you. So Emma has a look. As far as she can tell, it's not locked. And she kneels down and pulls out her slender picks and begins to fiddle with the lock. it's quite difficult, and cursing, she motions for you to just back away a little bit and give her a little bit more space. The lock is old and rusted.
And I'm breathing down her neck.
But after a few more minutes, she smiles, stands up, bows, and points at the door.
Clap her on the shoulder. All right. Grundar, you mind opening the door?
Yeah, I figured since you like to be arranged, I'll open the doors.
Yeah.
Beyond the locked doors, you can see what look like a number of musical instruments. There's a large harpsichord, cellos, violas, violins, even a few wind instruments. The arched southern wall is lined with a wooden bench that may once have offered comfortable seating while musicians perhaps played in the centre of the room. The ceiling is intact, so the larger instruments seem relatively unscathed by time. How long they've remained locked in here, you don't know. Certainly there's a film of dust over everything and one or two cobwebs. The cobwebs are old and dusty themselves, and they break easily as you move into the room and have a look around. Apart from the musical instruments, however, there doesn't seem to be anything of any value in here.
Okay.
Can you give me perception rolls, please?
That's better.
So for those of you who are new to rule set and Fantasy Ground, so if you go to your skills tab, you should have a skill called perception. Some of you will have a you'll have that with a yellow dot showing you've got a proficiency in it. And if you grab the +4, +1, or whatever you've got next to a little brown circle, that will effectively pick up a D20, toss that into the chat window, and that will give you your perception roll. And that's how all skill rolls are done. Okay. Right, Grundar and Frex, you both notice that behind an elaborate screen, there's actually what looks like a small but comfortable looking bed. Footprints have actually disturbed the dust. And following those footprints, you've discovered a bed. The bed is still faintly warm, so somebody has been using it within the last few hours. The bed smells very, very faintly of expensive perfume.
Ooh.
Is it approximately captured princess size indentation in the bed?
Yes, complete with multiple mattresses and a pea underneath. Yes.
I see Threnlo smelling the pillow and I tell him, don't be weird about this.
That be the mistress's scent. I'd know that anywhere. Well done, young master. You've almost got her. Come on, quick.
Thanks. And don't think I didn't see you put the pillowcase in your bag, but let's talk about that later.
Oh, hush, master, hush. That's just a souvenir. Threnlo blushes, looks sheepish, and then gets out his collapsible crossbow and shoots you all.
Plot twist.
Didn't see that coming.
Well, you're bored of these characters, I can tell.
Well, only one place left to go.
There is. So there's no sight of the captured Lady Cordelia anywhere that you've been so far. All that's left is the strange flint tower.
All right, let's have Emma check the door, see if there's anything.
Okay. So Emma, is mindful that this is the last place that Lady Cordelia can be. So she carefully approaches the door, looks around the door, listens, can't hear anything, and then has a look to see if the door is in any way trapped. Feeling around the door and checking above the lintel of the door, she shakes her head. Everything seems fine. Looking through, she whispers back to you, "Doesn't seem trapped."
Okay, thank you.
And she steps away from the door. Obviously, it's not locked either.
I'll open it up.
Just kidding, it was trapped.
That would not be the first time that's happened.
It won't be the last.
The chamber beyond is obviously quite large, given the echoes as the door swings creakingly open. In the center of the room, there's a spiral staircase that leads up and down.
Damn.
There are no windows, and the chamber seems strangely cold as you enter Grundor.
Is there any chance of perceiving which staircase seems to be the most used, the ones going up or the ones going down? Disturbance of dust or anything like that?
Nice idea, Frex. Give me a perception roll, please. Frex, you approach the dust on the stairs. Okay. Give me a survival roll, please.
Okay.
There are footprints in the dust. Both sets of stone staircases are well worn, and though footprints have led up the stairs quite recently, you suspect that more footsteps have used the downward leading, the descending staircase. The stairs are much, and you can see telltale gobbets of wax and even a few oil spills on the steps leading down.
Okay, thank you. Sounds good. I relay that to them.
Well, sounds like we're going down.
Sounds like. How narrow is the staircase? I'm assuming it's just one person at a time.
The staircase is about 3 foot wide, so you can basically it's one person at a time. It's quite narrow, and of course, it goes round clockwise, which means that for those of you that are right-handed, should anything attack you, you're going to be anti-clockwise. So it means if you face anything coming up the stairs at you, you'll be at an advantage, and they'll be at a disadvantage should you have to fight.
Okay.
Down?
Yeah,
Yes,
I'll go down first.
Okay.
I'd like to not be last, but second to last.
Okay.
Can I be in the middle? And I'm left-handed, so I'm keeping that quiet.
Okay.
I know something you don't know. I'm not left-handed.
You don't know. I'm also not left.
Okay. So is it Grundar who's going down first?
Yep.
Okay. Right.
I give him a little push so he falls on any enemies waiting for us.
That's not very nice.
Well played.
You don't push the dwarf.
He weebles, but
He does not fall down.
that's right.
No. Okay. Oops. Right. And I'll drag your tokens over. So Grundor, you go down first.
Yeah, I'll follow behind him.
Okay. Grundor, you step down first, followed by Frex.
Yes, should I be third?
Okay. Grundor, as you step down, you hesitate for an instant. There's a huge looming statue as you just finish descending the stairs. Fortunately, with your eyesight, you see into the inky blackness beyond. There's a wide 10-foot corridor that heads off towards your west, into what almost feels like a threatening and forbidding darkness. Straight ahead of you, you can see that this chamber, whatever it is, widens slightly to give you two exits, one heading east and one heading south, descending very, very slightly past what looks like the rubble of a smashed statue.
Okay, I'm still getting a loading on the map, so
Yeah.
as soon as I can move myself.
I'll just move you slightly along, Grundle, and then everybody else can join you. Brian, you said you were third?
Yeah.
Fourth. I assume would be Reginleth. I'll just put her off the map slightly. Fifth, probably Torrendale. And right at the back, where he's perfectly happy, Threnlow, with his trusty pillowcase.
I see now that he's put it over his head, and I just shake mine.
So troubling.
At least he cut holes out of it for eyes.
Right. Has everybody got the map yet?
Yes.
Yeah, got it.
Okay,
Yep.
good. So, which way do you want to go? You can, from this distance, you can see light down the southern end of down the southern passageway, flickering faintly. There's also a greenish light, much less bright, down the down the eastern passageway, Grundor.
Okay.
The western passageway is dark and forbidding.
Let's check it out.
Yeah, west.
You want to go west? Okay. Dark and forbidding it is.
That's right.
What can go wrong there?
Yeah, that's a safe place. It's
Are
just
you
going to
sure
be
you wouldn't want? You sure you don't want to split the party up?
No, thank you.
Not usually.
Are anybody in wheelchairs? Because it's always a good tactic to send the person in the wheelchair ahead on their
Yes. That's
own.
why
In the
they're called,
basement.
they're called scouts in fantasy terms.
Okay.
It's only cold because this is where the cold cuts are.
The low ceiling that you encounter means that some of you have to duck uncomfortably as you move along. By the light of Threnlow's torch, you can see a curious, large open chamber ahead of you. Dominating the chamber, perhaps, is what looks like a bone pit in the
Oh,
centre.
jeez. This
All
place just
around
gets
the
warm.
sides of the chamber, you can see that niches have been cut into the walls. The yellow ivory glint and gleam from these niches give you a clue as to what they've been stuffed with. Nothing seems to move, but the hairs on the back of your neck tingle ever so slightly.
Definitely leaving a bad review on Airbnb.
Really, I quite like the decorations. I was wondering who the interior designer was.
I'm sure he's down here somewhere, at least his bones.
That's right. Never decorate another again.
That's really getting into your work there.
Yeah. Okay, let's have a look around as best we can in our stooped position.
As you enter the chamber, the ceiling just domes up slightly so you can stand erect. It's just the passageway which leads to it, which is slightly lower for some reason. Can you give me perception rolls, please? Threnlow remains outside, uneasy and unwilling to enter.
Keep an eye on our backs, Threnlow, please. Give a holler if you see anything.
Frex, looking into the bone pit,
Just terrible.
there seems to be a stack of skeletal material. There are skulls, thigh bones, arm bones. There are rib cages as well. None of the bones are intact. Looking at it a little bit more closely, can you give me a medicine roll, please, Frex?
Yes.
Grundar, you can give me medicine rolls as well, please.
Oof, that was close.
Not good ones, but we can get them.
You'll get them, but they won't be great.
Those look like bones.
Frex, you can tell that some of given the wounds, the chips that have been made in the bone material, that whoever was piled into these pits was killed. You suspect that these were either victims of murders, assaults, or some such. Certainly, there's not much evidence the bones belong to people who died of old age or natural causes.
So possibly a sacrifice.
Possibly.
Or maybe just murdered. Yeah.
Possibly.
Are these little like stone slabs or anything around the perimeter of the room?
No, those are small niches. And as your attention is drawn to those, you can hear a slight rustling noise, Frex. And then a thigh bone falls out of one of the nearest niches.
Oh boy.
And as you pause, you can hear noises from some of the other niches as well. And as you watch in horror, a figure pulls itself out of one of the niches, shortly followed by a second.
Uh-oh.
Can you give me some initiative rolls, please, folks? So on your character sheets, for those of you who can't remember, you've got something which says on the main tab, something which says in it. It is. Okay. And I'll roll the NPC initiatives as well.
Oh, where's that fancy combat tracker? Right. I love that little combat tracker.
Okay. Frex. Oops. It is you to go first.
Okay.
So you can see two skeletons that have emerged, but you can hear noises from other niches as well, more skeletons. Okay, so Frex, you fire your bow at the nearest and miss.
No surprise there.
Torrendale.
Oh boy. I'm going to cast Mage Armor
Okay.
and stay right where the heck I am. How do I?
So so if you hit the magnifying glass next to Mage Armor, can you see there's an effect button?
Yes.
Right.
So
If you
click
drag that little man icon token or onto your character sheet, that will effectively boost your armor class. Or you can drag it onto the combat tracker, onto your character.
Got it. Thank you,
There
sir.
you go.
Nice.
And that's basically how a lot of your spells want to add effects, etc., because of the spells. If you hit the magnifying glass, the spell will be there. If, for example, you looked at Grease, you can see there will be buttons there with cast and effect and so on. But
And I would just drag those onto either a token or combat.
Well, some of them, if it involves a saving throw, what you could do, so for example, with a fireball spell, and we all look forward to you having one of those, what you would do is you would control left click on all of the targets of your fireball, click on the cast, and it would automatically trigger all of the targeted NPCs to make saving throws. You'd then roll the damage for your fireball, and Fancy Grounds will register who made their saving throw and who didn't, and apply the damage automatically. What it will also do is if you've got any sort of resistance to fire, perhaps you've cast for some bizarre reason a resist fire spell on one of the goblins, the fire damage will automatically be reduced because Fancy Grounds will take into account the effect that you've put on that NPC.
Very cool. I'll try not to drag us down too much. I apologize.
No, it won't. Spell casting, once you get in Torrendale, once you've learned how the effects work, is actually very, very quick and easy. Right, Emma will move up to close so she can do something. Right, the skeleton that came out from the north moves towards you, I'm afraid, Grundor.
Did Regan get her turn or no?
Oh, she missed. I'm sorry. Regan, it's your turn. I went past you. Sorry. Regan, it's your turn. Apologies.
I think I can move this distance, right?
Yep.
And then...
So if you control left click, that's it. And then if you go to your actions tab, there you go. Excellent.
That was beautiful.
That was poetry in motion. That was
that Frex?
No, hey.
At which point Threnlo definitely puts his head in the pillowcase.
But you don't know if Frex and I shared the same dad. It's where we get our ridiculously high rolls from.
Yeah.
We'll see.
This is just the
skeleton has a black shafted heavy spear, Grundor, and he lunges at you with the spear with a soundless snarl, but misses. The skeleton leans away from your rather clumsy blow, Reganleth, and swings back at you with one of these hideously brutal-looking heavy spears, and unfortunately hits you.
Sounds about right.
The spear grazes your side for do too much damage. And then a third skeleton crawls out.
Oh no.
And a fourth skeleton crawls out. And things are beginning to look a little bit unpleasant. Brian.
Okay. I haven't got turn undead or anything, have I? Just out of interest.
Not yet.
Not yet, level 2.
All right, damn. Okay, so I'm going to fire my crossbow at... trying to think where I am. See, I think I'm... I've lost my character. If you
mouse over it...
Oh, yeah, I got it, yeah. So yeah, I'm going to fire mine at skeleton number 4. Skeleton number 4, sorry.
Okay, so control left click, that will target him.
Okay. Oh, I targeted myself.
You're also targeting yourself still.
Yeah.
Let me go to the targeting.
Sorry.
There you go. You're done. So, and then just make your attack roll.
Okay.
Threnlo steps into the room and draws his sword, but he's mindful that he's also holding your own, and he freezes, not too sure what his best course of action is. Grundar, it's your turn. There is a skeleton who stabbed at you with one of these brutal-looking heavy spears.
Yay.
Smash into it, full in the face, and obliterate it with your warhammer. Well, that was rubbish, wasn't it?
All right, then I am going to move up to number 3.
Okay. Right. Robdan will get into the room, but he won't have much option to do anything else. Frex, it's your turn.
All right. I don't want to embarrass myself again, so let's see what we can do. Oh, for God's sake.
Oh.
I'm changing the color of my dice.
That works. That does it for me.
I'm doing that as well.
And that's about all I got.
Torrendale.
Okay.
Boosted with an armor class with a shimmering field that surrounds you. You can see Grundor smashed one of the skeletons into pieces and is now moving on to another.
And
So
I guess,
Regenlef is in trouble.
and I'm coming from Pathfinder, so if I ask weird questions, you'll have to forgive me. But do I have to worry about cover or anything like that if I want to cast a cantrip?
No. As long as you've got a line of sight, it's fine.
Okay.
And to be honest, I'm not that fussy when it comes to these sort of miniatures and tabletop stuff. I spend a lot of time sort of doing actual wargaming where dimension sizes and lines of sight are a bit more important. So I'm a little bit more relaxed when it comes to this stuff.
All right. Well, then, in that case, I'd like to try that. Just kidding.
Okay.
It's fine. We're just getting warmed up. It's the first
You
fight.
step up to about there. There's a fizz as the firebolt flashes past, shattering against the far wall. Regenlef, injured, you're facing one with a heavy, brutal spear, and there is a second coming onto you. You've been alerted by Threnlo and Torrindil, your companion.
I appreciate the heads up. I think I'm just gonna keep attacking the one that I can't seem to hit, because that sounds like a good plan.
Hey.
There you go.
Well done.
Right. Heavy axe smashes into the rib cage of the skeleton, almost shearing off its spear. The broken spear offers obviously much less threat. So next to your actions for your weapon, there should be something which says damage. It won't look like a dice. There you go.
Nice.
Very nice.
The skeleton is clearly badly injured by this. A couple of ribs have snapped free, and its wrist is now dangling helplessly. Emma will get to there. Right. Skeleton feebly tries to use its spear, but is doing so very weakly indeed, and misses.
Cool.
Second skeleton that has just emerged is drawn to you, Grundor. It attacks with a short sword, but misses. Fourth skeleton moves to you, Frex. And also attacks with a short sword, but misses.
Oof.
Brian, it's your turn.
Okay, I'm gonna try and bolt skeleton number 4 again. Come on. Oh yeah, wrong dice, was it?
No, you've obviously changing the colour of your dice was perfect. A critical hit.
Oh, I didn't even see it come up. It's a bit of a delay here. All right, this is it. Oh yeah.
Well done.
The bolt half spins the skeleton round, and it drops its weapon.
Oh, cool.
Threnlo will probably smash out at the skeleton in front of him, but he's carrying a torch
Excuse me.
as well, so his attack is a little bit clumsy and misses. Grundor.
Oh.
Down it goes.
Just give me book.
Grundor Skeleton Bane.
Welcome to the zone of embarrassment, Grandar.
Uh-oh.
I look over at Frex and say, I think you almost hit one.
I give him a thumbs up. Thanks for the words of encouragement.
At which point, Frex probably says, "We are taking prisoners."
I'm interrogating the skeleton after we fight.
Could tell me all sorts of useful things, perhaps. Right, sorry. So it'll be that. Excellent. And that. There we go. I don't know if
Right.
anybody noticed that, because the skeleton was being oops. There we go. Ignore that. Frex, your turn.
How does it work? Switching weapons? Because I was thinking, since he's close with the bow, does it take an action or?
Yeah, so in 5th edition, attacks of opportunity, Pathfinder folks, are still here, but basically it's when you leave a square. So what you would commonly do is you would take an action called disengage, which effectively, I think under Pathfinder was called the 5-foot step.
Yes, sir.
So you would take a disengage action. That then just leaves you with a move action, unless you've got some sort of cunning action type thing to do rogue. So what you could do is you could disengage and move out of the way, and then as a move action, I'll allow you to change weapons. Or you could just disengage and then move and get ready to fire your longbow again. Probably up to you.
Okay, so I'll just for future reference, but I'll just stay here and keep trying to shoot this one.
Okay, if you want to stay as you are and shoot that skeleton, because it's within melee, you're going to be shooting at a disadvantage, if I remember the rules correctly.
Okay.
No attack of opportunity.
Okay.
Or you could switch to skeleton number 4 and shoot that one. Either one, you'll still be at a disadvantage. Now, to trigger that disadvantage, there are 2 dice just underneath the chat window, ADV and DIS. If you left click on DIS, it'll go sort of a reddy brown color.
Okay.
If you make your attack roll, it will basically roll 2 d20s. There you go, you've got it.
Oh, well done.
That's a hit. One was a 20, which was a shame, but never mind.
All right.
Still a hit. You can tell I'm cut up about this.
I know, we're all pretty upset.
So you've hit skeleton number 2, and you just roll your damage.
Okay.
And down it goes.
I did a thing, I tell everyone.
Well done.
Hey.
Torrendale.
All right, so if I control left click, that targets him.
Yes, it does. And you have.
And then I just would roll the attack as opposed to the damage.
Yes, so which spell are you casting? There you go. So you hit skeleton, and now that you wanted with your firebolt. So if you... There you go.
Cool.
I also did a thing.
Yeah, well done.
It's happening left and right.
Stand back, everybody.
So the last of the skeletons that emerged initially collapses, and you stand now. Only one of you has been wounded. Reginlef lightly wounded. There are 4 skeletons, the remains of, lying on the floor. There's a shattered heavy spear, a normal heavy spear, and 2 short swords. At first glance, they all look rather rusty and perhaps not terribly valuable. Nothing else is moving in the room at the moment.
Okay. Does it still have the spooky aura to it?
Yes.
Do we want to do a more comprehensive search so we don't leave any skeletons at our backs?
Yeah, I think it sounds like a damn good idea.
Well, let's do a quick rummaging around just to make sure nothing else stands up.
Yeah. Pop off all the heads.
Okay, give me perception rolls then, please. So you look in the niches and check the skeletons. Perhaps sadly, none of these skeletal remains that you find, none of the intact skeletons that fill the niches have anything valuable or anything of any real note at all. You find some still clutch heavy spears in their bony hands. 1 or 2 also have the short swords, which look slightly archaic. Short swords aren't as you've seen these sorts of weapons before, they seem to be slightly enlarged at the pointy end and slightly curved. So they're unusual short swords. Looking at them, they're also oddly weighted as well. They're slightly heavier towards the pointed end than you'd expect. And with a few tentative swings, you realise that these are designed slashing rather than stabbing, as most short swords are. But the room is quiet. The bone pit is still. But just walking around it, Frex and Trenlo, who is closest to it, it's from the bone pit that there's a slight chill and coldness.
Against my better judgment, I'm going to start searching inside of it.
Frex, you kneel down and reach into the bone pit with one hand. Your hand goes past some of the bones and you can move some apart. Can you give me a constitution save, please?
Yes. That looks good.
Very good.
Noise was appropriate. And as you pull your hand out, you can see that there is something clung to your hand, what looks like a small pink worm about the size of your finger. Looking at it curiously, wondering what on earth it's been living on amongst all of this ivory. There's a gasp, you emit a gasp of pain as the thing bites into your hand with terrifically powerful jaws and begins to bite into your knuckle. You can literally feel your knuckle being bitten away.
I yell, kill it with fire.
Torindale rubs his hands together. Stand back.
I put my hand in the air like I have a question.
Okay. With the aid of some of your companions, you eventually dislodge this creature, Frex. But your left hand, very, very sore and bleeding heavily. Staunching the blood is not a problem, but the damage to your knuckle and hand is such that you won't be able to use your bow for a couple of days.
Oof. And I was so good at it with it.
Little does the DM know that actually I have left hand, so I just switch bows.
And shoot with my teeth.
That's right. Okay. So after searching the room, folks, you've found little. It's taken you perhaps about 15 to 20 minutes. Can you all give me perception rolls, please? Nothing has come out of the niches after you, and the skeletal remains still and quiet. There's still a palpable chill to the room, but having seen what viciously attacked Frex, none of you are willing to dislodge the bones in the bone pile at all. Frex and Grundle, though, as you look at the wound on Frex's left hand, aided by the light of Threnlo's magically empowered torch, you can hear the angry shouts of a woman's voice again coming from perhaps the south.
Okay.
That's her. That's Mistress Cordelia.
Are you sure it's not a huge worm that eats bones?
No, don't be so daft. That's Mistress Cordelia. Quick, we must go and get her.
We'll go get her, but let's not go too quick.
Fair enough. And
She owes me a new hand.
Hesitates and drops to the back. Emma also.
Shall I do a little bit of first aid on the hand?
Yeah, I was wondering because I know. Is it Regan or Regan?
It's Regan Leaf.
Regan Leaf. Okay.
So Regan Leaf is moderate. She doesn't seem particularly bothered by her wound.
Okay.
But you suspect, given her bearing and demeanour, she's actually possibly going to be too proud to ask for help. As something of a battle cleric, Grundle, Brian as well, Regan Leaf might cause you a few problems because she may drop dead before she actually asks for help. Perhaps, I don't know. I could be misinterpreting a character. So she's not said anything, and just looked at the wound that she's got on her side, grunted, wrapped some bindings around it, shrugged, and gripped her battle axe even tighter.
Okay.
Frex.
Yeah.
Sorry, carry on.
No, go ahead.
All right. Leading the way, you can see the passageway obviously goes off to the east and off to the south. The southern passageway ceiling dips quite dramatically, and you think you can make out some steps that lead down.
Jesus.
Okay, should we go east before we go down?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay.
Brian, did you want to heal Relief, or did you want me to?
I'll do it if you want, and I'll probably do it. I'll ask politely not to offend, and then just cast light wounds. Cure light wounds, sorry.
Okay, so what you can do is you can control left-click Reagan Leaf's token on the map, and then if you click on the eyeglass on your cure wounds, just press on the heal button. You see that little red cross?
Yeah, I'll get in there. Oh, that wasn't much help.
That's pretty good.
Okay.
My condition is pretty much I just lose the ability to use the bow.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, no, you can use your bow, but it's going to be at a disadvantage.
Okay.
You're in great pain whenever you use it.
So that's not a cured thing. That's just an effect.
That's just an effect.
Perfect. Okay.
Okay. So by the light of Trenlo's torch, you can see the passageway opens up into an odd sort of hallway. The hallway is flanked with a number of tall, dark slabs, each of which are set in pairs. Slabs are covered in runes, though the language of them is, although the meaning of the runes is unknown to you. Threnlo hangs back a little bit and says, I think we're going the wrong way. I don't think this way.
No, you're right, but I don't want anything popping out and killing us.
Well, all right, it's not the way I do it. Ahead, you can see what looks dimly like a large oval chamber.
If that's a bone pit, I'm definitely sticking my other hand in it.
That seems reasonable, yes.
That's brilliant.
What are the odds of it happening twice?
Very good.
Yeah. Plus you have 2 feet as well.
Yeah.
Let me get roll down his token as well. Okay. What do you wish to do?
I'm just gonna, maybe I'll have Emma check the hallway just to see if she sees anything weird trap-wise.
Okay. Emma nods and she moves up to the hallway and she has a quick look first of all to see if she can notice anything about the slabs, and then she gets down on her hands and knees and she begins to look for traps. No, best not to intimidate them. There we go. She nods her head and whispers back, dart traps. Don't know how old. I think I can remove them.
Please try. Because you'll be going first.
She looks at you in surprise.
I'm just kidding. No pressure. It's the hand. My hand.
Emma nods and then walks down in front of you to show that actually the trap has been disarmed. And then she retreats safely to the rear.
Nice.
I'm going to keep an eye to the south, since that's where we heard the woman's voice while they're investigating that.
Good idea.
Okay. Rogdan will keep you company, just in case.
Frex will move towards his next wound.
If the previous chamber was unnerving, perhaps even worse, the entire chamber seems to be lined with limbs from hundreds and hundreds of humans, and possibly elves as well, looking at some of the more slender bones. These have been fixed to the wall and an arched ceiling, yellowed with age. They've obviously been here for many hundreds of years. In the central room, there's a deep stone dish. The dish is perhaps 2 feet in diameter and about maybe 2 inches deep. In the center of the dish, there seem to be dozens of small clay discs.
I'd like to just give it a really good once over.
Okay. So 2 skills that you can use. You can use perception, which is basically what you spot. Investigate is when you kind of start knocking floors, looking for secret compartments, feeling for cracks in the stone slabs. So what I had Emma do for the trap is I had her have a quick look to see if she could notice anything out of the ordinary to start her off looking for traps. So she made a perception roll. Because she did really well on the perception roll, I then had her look for traps using investigation, but I gave her the advantage on investigation because she'd done so well. So she's kind of had a clue as to where to look. So you can use perception or investigation here to check out the room. Investigation is going to take longer, but it's going to be more thorough.
Anybody that does have investigation, like there's proficient, that might be their inclination to really look around.
Frex stepping in and looking around, the bones themselves don't seem to be enchanted in any way. They've been held in place by a mixture of wires, mixture of cords and spikes in some places. Torindel, however, you notice that some of the bones are indeed elven, and almost all of the bones seem to be cracked, as if pressure has been applied to them.
Oh boy.
And then you just faintly hear some of the bones shifting up in the ceiling, and glancing upwards by the light of where's that wretched Threnlow gone? By the light of Threnlow's torch, you can see a shape. I don't think I'm going to go in there, Master. Threnlow stays on the outside. You catch sight of what looks like some sort of bone skeleton, but the skeleton has 4 arms and is slightly larger than the skeletons that you've just fought. And it begins to wind its way out from the bones that have been left in the ceiling, and it begins to crawl down the wall.
I issue a war cry of "Come at me, bro."
YOLO.
Your mother, says the golem, and moves towards you. Right.
Damn.
Yeah, I know. It can outstreet you. Here's how you did this. Right, so give me some initiative rolls, please, folks. That would also include Rogdan and Grundar, who are sort of back, lurking conveniently. Right, the skeleton has 4 arms and is about 7 foot tall. There's a pale green lambent light which leaks out of its empty orbital eye sockets, and it casts its eyes on you, Torindel.
Oh, that's so bad.
It's coming for you, Torindel, and it is going to split your limbs one by one until you have nothing left.
I feel that's true.
He's mad I killed his worm.
I'm not excited about any of this.
Yeah, that was an epic worm, that. All of 2 hit points.
Killed my
Rogdan hears a girly shriek from nobody and comes along the corridor.
That would be me.
Reganleth, you're up first. The
Oh,
creature is huge and obviously has bad intention.
those are my favorite kind.
Not mine.
So Reganleth, you can move back to attack. Reganleth, I thought you'd already rolled it.
I don't think I did.
Oh, right. In that case, it's not your turn. In that case, it's Frex.
Oh, goody.
Reganleth back. Frex,
Okay.
it's your turn.
I shall move forward since I can't shoot him. And to here, and then I will short sword him, I hope. Oh, for God's sakes.
Level 1 is just the most awful
You
level.
didn't have him targeted.
Oh, I didn't?
That's all right. I can
There we go.
re-roll that, I think.
Don't mind if I do, to be honest.
Yeah, re-roll it. That's a miss. Oh, that's a hit. Well done. Your short sword slams into one of the creature's arms. But
How does
obviously,
it feel to be disarmed, I say?
Oh,
I wouldn't know. I have 3 others, it says.
Nobody likes to show off.
Grundle,
I only have
it's
one.
your turn.
Okay, well, I assume I can hear and see most of that through all the people.
Yeah, so you can move probably about 60 feet, can't you? So you could...
Well, I'm a dwarf. I can't move 60, but
Oh, that's right. 40? Something like that? Yeah.
I'm going to move 25 and hit it with a spell.
Yeah, if I move you across that line of sight, off you go.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, perfect.
Oh, nice try. Unfortunately, it made it saving throw.
Very cool.
Emma
Fancy guys, really
will
cool.
move to the other side. Not really sure where this isn't really her forte. Brian.
I'm keeping quiet.
Sneaking out.
You're making yourself very small.
I am. Okay, so I'm going to try and shoot it with my bow.
Okay, off you go.
I just want to point out how embarrassing it is that the cleric is better with a bow than I have been.
I haven't had my go yet.
He does have both hands.
That's true.
Oh, it's a miss.
And as
jinxed you, Brian.
narrowly misses you, Brex, you might want to take back your praise of his archery.
Yeah, I jinxed you. That was my fault.
Right, Reganleth, now it's your turn. So the creature has moved. So you are within range of... I think you can move into there and smack it one if you wish.
Let's go.
There you go.
yay, thank you.
Give it the business.
Ooh, well done.
Backlax smashes into its chest. Right, the creature is rocked back and switches its attention to you, Reganleth. It will come at you
Bro.
with both its attacks.
I don't see how this could end badly at all.
I think it's going to go great.
First attack with the scimitar slashes into your side. You nimbly duck away from. The second also hits
Ooh, that's rude.
and also does minimal damage.
Well, minimal's all we can take.
Torrendon.
We are minimal characters.
That's so absolutely true.
Yeah.
Right. Threnlo, aware that things are going badly, hangs back.
Swears in Elvish.
Rogdan. 10, 20, 30. Rogdan can get to about here and hit. Frex.
All right, second
Right,
verse.
Frex, if you move around here,
Oh, yeah.
you'll basically get a flank attack on it, which means you'll attack with advantage.
I love the sound of that.
There you go.
Hmm.
Now remember, you all have.
Oops, sorry, wrong one.
That's okay. You all have inspirations as well, which you can use to re-roll. Rolls.
Oh,
So
yes.
if you miss at any point, you can use your inspiration and re-roll. So Grundle, let me give you an inspiration back. There you go. So the creature is now looking slightly worse for wear. It's dropped one of the shields that it was using, so its armor class has dropped. Now only got 3 arms. Right, Grundle, do you want to use an inspiration and re-roll that, or do you want to save your inspiration for when you really need it?
Well, it worked, so I don't want to re-roll.
Oh, sorry, yep, failure. I'm sorry.
It's a good plan.
Thank you for that.
And then as a bonus action, I am going to target Reagan Leaf with Healing Word.
Nice. There's a flare of light.
Nice.
Fades the skeleton and it shrieks and drops another shield. It's now badly injured, and almost in the same breath, there's another flare of light that washes over Reagan Leaf. Emma will not do anything. Brian, it's your turn. You sense that the creature is close to collapse.
And I'm feeling very brave. So I'm going to
So
rush
brave.
forward to. Can I get a bonus? And I'm going to try and hit it behind with my mace.
You'll get a flank attack on.
All right.
That's good enough for me for a flank. Yep.
All right, lovely. Oh, did I have to do a bonus? An advantage?
Yes, you did. So roll that one. Just if you make the attack roll again, and if you hit on this one, it will register. Okay.
Oh, brilliant.
That's a hit. And down it goes. There's a splinter of bones, and the creature collapses in a heap.
All right.
And I bow to everyone. Thank you very much.
I think you've earned it. Polite clap.
I clap with one hand. All right. Well, we can check him out. See if I don't know. I just want to see. Just have a peek at the bones and see if there's anything that jumps out at me. Hopefully not literally.
Well, the 2 short swords that the creature was using are rust and tarnish free and look quite nice. Certainly, the creature wielded them to good effect. And oddly, though, you'd expect most other metal to be slightly corroded, certainly have some form of rust on them. These short swords, a matched pair by the looks of it, are undamaged.
I'll pick one up and kind of compare it to mine to see how it feels with the weight.
Whoever crafted the short sword was obviously superbly well balanced, and looking at the steel that the blade is made out of, though the steel is very flexible, it's certainly not going to break easily. This is probably a superior short sword compared to yours.
Okay, if no one has any objections, I'll swap it out with mine. If anybody uses a short sword, if they want the other one.
No, I'm fine.
I would take one if nobody else wants it.
Okay.
Okay, so if you want to, on your inventory, if you want to...
Does Emma use a short sword?
I think she does.
She does.
Defer to her.
Let's have a look and see what weapon she's got. No, rapier.
Okay, yeah, because it's... Yeah, okay.
Okay. So if you're on your character sheet, well, actually I can drag those over, or I'll send those over to you. Frex, you took one, didn't you?
Yes, please.
Okay. Oops. Right, so that should have gone over to you. So if you check in your inventory, you should have an...
Oh, yeah, perfect.
Yep. Okay. And who wanted the other one?
Torrendale.
Torrendale. Okay, let me make sure I can spell that correctly.
And is there a way to move it over to the actions? Or do you just add it? Oh,
yes,
okay.
so there it is. It's in there now, ivory handled short sword.
Equip it.
There you go.
Thank you.
Okay. So you've got yours, Torrendale, and Frex. Let me just make sure that you've got yours equipped. Let's have a look. So if you look under inventory, ivory handled short sword.
Okay.
You've got one.
Oh.
There you go. So it's now equipped. So I've put it to equipped. If you now look under your... It's funny, it's not showing up. I'm not sure why.
Maybe it's a left-handed scimitar.
There it is. It's coming up now. Obviously, it just took a while, and I just need to change that.
Oh, perfect. Thank you.
There you go. Okay.
Huzzah.
Right. So apart from the swords that the creature was using, the only other things that you could see on the floor of this room were just these strange discs, these strange clay discs that were in the center of the metal dish.
Yeah, what are those?
That the chamber is empty. Grundle, you've remained back at the entrance. You can still hear the faint sound arguing, and you can certainly hear a woman's voice above the baritone of the men's arguing.
Okay, maybe we can...
sounds pretty unhappy.
We can put a pin in those discs, and maybe we can revisit them. I feel like they're significant, but I don't know how. And then it might just be the worm saliva talking.
They could be runes, do you think? Was there any writing on them? I suppose we've moved out of the room now.
I know I said there's runes on the walls that we couldn't understand. That's what got me kind of fascinated.
Without reaching in and pulling out any of the discs, difficult to tell. You'd have to actually get your hands in there and pull some discs out and have a look by the light. And obviously Frex is unwilling to reach it with his hands.
Time to switch to feet.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I guess we'll go save whoever needs saving now. Threnlo, you big baby.
Okay. Grundar, as you approach, you can see a large, these steps lead down into a cave. The cave has quite a low ceiling that's going to force you to duck. Well, it's going to force the rest of your companions to duck quite low. You should be fine. At the far end, you can bloodstained slab. Standing around the slab, you can see people. The cavern is obviously occupied, and it's these people that you can hear. You can see that there are a number of what look like yellow-robed figures, cultists, you think.
Mm.
But you can also see there's a man present who is dressed somewhat differently from the others, in very, very shabby clothing. He seems to be arguing. He has a slightly larger iron bell at his belt than the others, and he's arguing with a woman. And the woman you suspect is Cordelia.
Does she seem bound in any way, or is she just standing?
She's standing, and she's arguing. Let me put...
I'm getting the feeling that Cordelia is complicit.
So am I, especially when she's coming up red.
Oh, come on, metagaming.
Sorry.
Tut.
No, I just don't understand why she's not bound.
There's a red aura around her. It says, evil, do not trust this woman. So you had your suspicions anyway. Certainly she's not bound or gagged in any way at all. And she seems to be arguing with the character near her. Kneeling down on the ground are a number of cultists that you've seen before.
Oh,
What also takes your attention is a tall, robed figure leaning just to the side, dressed in purple clothes. The figure is very, very tall and slender, and is leaning against the altar, smirking at the argument that is going on.
Oh, it's Threnlo's twin.
What do you wish to do? So far, the people have not reacted to your light because Threnlo is too far behind you.
I tell Threnlo to, or whoever cast the cantrip to kill the spell.
Okay, I'll dismiss it.
And then if we have any ranged fighters, since I'm down to one hand, if they want to come up behind us and maybe see if we can't get off a couple shots before they notice we're here, kind of maybe get the drop on them a little bit.
I will definitely give it a go.
Take that fancy crossbow of yours. If that's okay, Stuart. I don't know if that's allowed.
Yeah, that's fine. No, so you can sneak up quietly and prepare your missile weapons. Brian, can you give me a stealth roll, please? As you sneak to the top of the stairs, and then you're going to have to step down slightly to get an angle on them. So give me a stealth roll, please. So that's, there you go.
Okay, not really good.
No. So as you sneak down, the characters whirl. Oops, no, they'll make a perception roll first. I'm being, they may not notice you by some miracle. No, they notice you.
Oh well,
Can
sorry.
I have some rolls for initiative, please?
All good plans, all good plans.
Oh, I better roll the... no, that's all rolled, I think. Oops. There we go. So, the priest whirls round, sees you, Brian, pauses for a minute, peers through the gloom, and then shrieks out, "Kill them! Kill them!" Lockdown. Hearing the kill them, and taking that to be not good, comes rushing forwards. Cordelia drops back and says, "Help! Help!"
Oh, you little minx.
Nobody says you little minx. You try walking into a bar and saying, "Ho there, stout yeoman." You get smacked round the face. Right, Emma runs into the room and obviously looks to hug some shadows. Frex, gosh, now would be a good time to shoot from range.
It would be.
That's going to be a problem.
I try to distract them by yelling, "Are you happy with pest control?" Okay,
well,
how many?
Try out your new short sword.
Okay, I will. Can I move close enough to engage?
Yeah, so if you draw in something 10, 20, 30, yeah, you've got, so you could get to there and hit one, no problem.
Like that, okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty, let's try this shiny little sucker out. I don't know why I did that. Let's try that again.
Oh, that's good.
Take that, rewind it back.
Short sword sinks in to the guts of the cultist and drops him instantly.
All right.
I look at it and I say, "Who needs two hands?"
Regenlef, your turn.
So is the standard movement 30 then?
Yeah, each of those, yeah, so you can move 30 feet. So that 10, 20, 30 would take you there. 50 would take you about there. I'll let you have a go at cultist number 1. I think you can squeeze by. So control left click to target cultist number 1. There you go. And then it's your normal attack. And the battle axe swings through the air with a whistle and strikes home.
That's what happens when you wear a bell instead of armor.
And cultist number 1 wishes that he had armor on the bell. And says, "Do you know what? Somebody sold me this bell saying it'll do." They saw me coming.
They get no repeat customers.
Right. The drow smiles and drops out of sight.
Oh, no. Bastard.
Torrendale.
All right. It seems generally terrible.
Oh, nice.
Very nice.
Father Muckle shrieks as a fiery bolt streaks forth from Torrendale's finger.
You took the hair right off his head.
And he didn't have much to begin with.
We will not be dying for you this day.
Brian, your turn.
Definitely a better line than my pest control one.
Right, I'm going to go for Cultist 4. And I was going to run forward, but no, I'm going to use my crossbow.
Oh dear, they were supposed to put up more of a fight than this.
And
Brian, you need to change your class, maybe?
Wow. All right. Bolt spins the cultist round, but he's still going to have a go and fight back. Cultist number 1 is badly injured, Reagan left, but is still going to try and strike you back with his scimitar. And he misses. Excellent. I'm so pleased.
Me too. The first one that hasn't hit.
Nice.
Right. One closes on you and hits through the scimitar. But it's a light wound, merely takes some hairs off your forearm. Cultist number 4 hasn't seen Emma and comes in to attack you, Brian, with his scimitar and misses.
Ooh, excellent.
Grundar, it's your turn.
All right. Let's see here. I'm going to hit number 4 with a spell.
Oof.
And then I will move.
Flash of flame, and the cultist shrieks in agony.
Poor Threnlo.
Threnlo, lurking at the back, lashes out and hits Rogdan.
you little...
Saw that coming.
Traitor!
I love the White Dwarf says, yep, could have told you that. Yep, I've seen this happen many a time. Right, Father Muckle, furious that his cultists have dropped so much. I think he will. Who's the nearest person to him? I think it'll be you, Grundor. Grundar, he points a finger at you and says, stand still. And you are.
Can I use my inspiration to re-roll that?
Yes, you can, actually. So I will roll that again for you. Oh, damn it.
I say no.
He didn't say Simon Says.
That is so annoying. Okay. Right, let me just remove that effect from you. So you shiver as the foul priest tries to hold you in place, but your faith is far too strong. And besides, there's ale after this that needs drinking.
So much ale.
Prioritizing.
Okay. Right. That's the real inspiration.
Rogdan is... Oh, he's hardly been hit. He's going to turn round, snarls in rage at Threnlo, and says, I thought we were friends. And attacks. Let me just call that Rogdan's attack.
I let you brush my scales.
That's right. I thought we had a connection. And he misses. So
he's upset. You can't see through the tears, his dragon tears through his eyes.
Right.
Would those be crocodile tears?
Oh, very good. Cordelia will rush round. Threnlo, help me!
Oh, you live a little.
Emma will come to here and have a go at cultist number 4. There we go. So, oops, you'll get an advantage on that as well. Oh, and that almost certainly means that with sneak attack damage as well, down he goes.
Oh, yeah.
For X, it's your turn. Let me just delete cultist number 4.
All right. Oh my gosh, I actually hit him.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you for saving me the embarrassment.
Reagan Leaf, your turn.
Just attack this.
Oh no.
Right. You can re-roll that if you want to.
You're standing too close to Frex.
The heat coming off of my wounded left hand is blinding you.
No, I think I'll save the re-roll.
Okay, good call. You can hear whispered commands from below the rocky ledge in a language that you don't understand, but fills the air almost with menace. What's being spoken in a language should not be spoken. Torrendil, your turn.
All right, well, Torrendil is suddenly shocked by the events behind him, spins around. He says, how could you? What have you done?
You bastard! I'll get you for that.
Damn.
That bloody hurts.
I totally believe that Thrello complained about getting attacked while he was attacking us.
That's right.
I 100% believe that.
That's right.
Well, that's rude.
That's bloody rude. Not called for neither. Well, he was confused.
Love makes you do terrible things, I guess.
Brian, it's your turn.
Okay, I'm going to do cultist 3.
Yep.
And I'm with all the best love,
Nice.
best love in the world.
Damn, don't ever change the color of that dice.
Oh, maybe I might do.
Maybe. So the bolt presumably spins through the air and then basically lands broadside on and just thumps the guy against his forehead, and he kind of wonders why you're throwing sticks at him.
Has it come to this already? Sticks and stones?
Yes. Right, badly injured. The cultist has no real option but to attack you. Critical hit.
Oof,
And slams his scimitar deep into your chest.
Oh, no.
Grinning, he pulls it free and prepares again. The one near you, Frex, seeing his friend do so well, swings with renewed vigor, so much so that he drops his blade.
Wonderful.
Grundar.
I got excited. Okay. Okay, I am going to hit cultist 1. I am not going to hit cultist 1.
But I want to.
As a bonus action, I will cast Healing Word again on Reaganleaf.
Okay.
Nice.
That's fantastic.
I feel like we're gonna have to work out a trade sort of here.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, better than nothing.
No, that's good.
Stand still, you bloody lizard. God damn it. Father Muckle. What will he do now? I think. Right. He'll go for you, Grundar. You're causing a lot of problems. Oops, let me try that one again.
He uses perception to see that Grundar is the most skilled in fantasy grounds and attacks him.
Ah, dear, oh dear, oh dear. And you dodge out.
What happened with Threnlo?
Bogdan. Oh, has Threnlo gone invisible?
Oh, okay. That's terrible.
No, he hasn't. There he is.
He's like, okay, that's terrible.
Okay. That's what just happened. So bad. Okay.
Right. Rogdan, who is battling with Threnlo, but at least swings at the traitorous man and slams his battle axe home and hisses.
Ooh.
Cordelia. Threnlo! Threnlo!
That ship sailed, honey.
She runs past Emma. And from nowhere produces a rapier, Brian, and plunges it into your legs.
Damn, Brian! Physician, heal thyself.
Emma. We'll go for cultist number 3. Where are we? There we go. So that. Oh, and misses. There we go. Frex.
Being that
Brian, you hear Brian go, oh!
I turn and I go,
Words to
naughty,
the effect
naughty.
of.
All right. Oh, why did it do that? Did it roll 2 d20s?
It did.
Yeah, so it looks like you attacked cultist number 3. It's because you had 2 targets.
Oh,
Who do you want
sorry.
to? Okay, so if it's just Cordelia, that's fine.
just
I'll,
Cordelia.
yeah, so you attack Cordelia. So you would step to there. You've not left cultist number 3 space, so there's no attack of opportunity. So go on, roll your damage for Cordelia.
Okay.
And
That's good to know. I didn't know you could target more than one.
okay. Yeah, so if you had a fight, you could left click on all those that were in your area.
That's very cool.
So you wouldn't have to do it individually one by one. Okay. Reagan left. Right, the cultist that you face is badly injured, close to collapse, as is the other.
Well,
Renlow is also unconscious, bleeding to death.
Oops.
Um,
Had to check the chicken.
well, I can't do anything about the unconscious thing, so I'm gonna attack the one been attacking me and hopefully hit this time because I also don't want to be unconscious.
And yet,
That is a shame. Could I use my inspiration to reroll?
Yes, you can. So I will take that off your character sheet and you get to reroll.
Nice.
Better hit.
Nice.
Hey, there we go.
Battle axe swings true this time.
oh
And
my.
essentially
Whoa,
cleaves the cultist in half. That would have killed 2.
She kills him and comes back. That was an excellent use of inspiration for sure.
Thank you. I feel inspired.
Ah, shoot, I feel inspired.
I feel like
after
I
that.
should have taken damage from bone fragments.
I don't feel inspired. I feel gored.
Sorry, there's a little bit of redness on that one.
Torrendale.
All right. So you said Threnlo is down.
Renlow is unconscious and bleeding to death, with Robdan snarling at the body.
In which case, back to business.
Gosh, I really want to try to keep one of these, at least one of them alive, but we'll see what happens.
Well, let's try to keep Lady Cordelia alive. She probably has the most answers.
Yeah, and I want to keep Brian alive.
That seems important.
Well, yeah, that goes without saying.
I'll vote for that one too.
It's actually very, very difficult to die in D&D now with the saves. So even at level 1, it's one of the nice things about the game. So there you go, Brian. You've made your first success roll. So this is done automatically. So basically, you get 3 D20 rolls.
Oh, nice.
3 successes, and you're basically stabilized and on 0, but not bleeding to death. 3 fails, and you're dead. So it's a bit like a penalty shootout. So you're 1-0 up at the moment.
Fantastic.
Cultist number 3, who's the last King Frex, is surrounded and will attack. Why not?
Ouch.
If I can get another of you, he thinks.
Oof.
Die, he says. Grundor.
All right. Let's see. If I move to there, I'm still in combat with number 3.
You're still within melee range, yes. So that doesn't trigger an attack of opportunity.
Okay, because I'm going to go for Father Muckle there.
Mucklehead.
So he heard that.
He's lucky we don't give him a muckle sandwich.
Damn, yours is better.
I'm just piggybacking that.
Oh, nice. So you slam your warhammer into the priest's face.
And then as a bonus action, I'm going to use my divine ability and attack him again.
Yep. So you step up and swing, and then again. And
Well, I missed, but okay.
okay. Right. Father Muckle is now badly injured. So do you want to attack of opportunity on him, please, Grundle? As he
Yes,
runs
I
away.
do.
Ooh.
Darn it.
And he
He's
drops
slippery.
down
Oh, you bastard.
out of sight. Right, Rogdan probably kicks Threnlo's body and then stomps into the room to see what's happening. Right, Cordelia, seeing Threnlo drop, she shrieks and rushes towards him past Torrendale and Rogdan. So Torrendale, you can attack her if you wish, if you've got any sort of melee weapon.
I have that new
Rogdan is certainly going to have a go at her.
ivory-handled short sword, which looks fun.
Go on then.
If I can find my little doohickey thingamabob.
I wish there was a way that you could just crack her on the head as she walked by.
Well, Rogdan swings and misses. So yeah, you can say that you're doing. I'm trying to remember the phrase. You can basically declare that you're doing non-lethal damage, which halves.
Subduing damage.
Incapacitate.
Yeah, so you can claim you're doing subduing damage, and as long as the weapon would allow itself. So, for example, Rogdan will use the haft of his battle axe to smash her to the ground, and does so. So, Cordelia is also unconscious on the floor.
Perfect. So Threnlo's bleeding out, but Cordelia's unconscious.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And I think there's one cultist left that Emma is facing. So she will attack him. Where are we? There we go. Oops, no, not that one. Rapier. There we go. And Frex, it's your turn.
Okay, let's have a go at him. Wait, I gotta target him. There we go.
Yeah.
Can be taught.
Hit. And down he goes.
Oh, well done.
So I'm going to still stay in tracking order because obviously down on the ground, bleeding as well. So Reganleif, what do you want to do? There's nothing to fight off in this cave, but you can see there's a ledge that both Father Muckle and the robe figure dropped down from.
Well, the only thing I'm good for is fighting.
Oh.
So I'm gonna go investigate the ledge, I think.
Yeah, I'll be behind you.
And be ready if our comrade who is out and bleeding needs to go to Valhalla. Like, I'm here for the rescue.
Okay. So Reganleif, let me just have a look and see sort of. Oh, you've got dark vision. I forgot about that. So you can see that huddled by some rocks, you can see Father Muckle, but he's obviously cast a curing spell, perhaps, or two on himself.
Well, that is unfair if you're not sharing with the rest of
Thank you. I was going to say the same thing. That's why he hit. He doesn't have enough for the whole class.
Right. So you can drop down if you wish, Regan. I'm going to ask you to make a dex roll just to land without breaking anything. I don't need anything particularly wrong. So if you go to your character sheet, main, you've got it. Thank you. Right, that's, you land, but that's all you can do this turn. He's gone. Torrendale, what do you wish to do?
Well, so there's no danger of Cordelia dying here, as far as I can tell, because she was.
No, she's been. She's okay. She's unconscious.
I guess I'd better stay here just to make sure nothing happens to their bodies or no one sneaks up behind us.
Do you have any medicine or anything to stabilize?
You can make a first medicine effectively is a first aid roll to stabilise. So if you wanted to stabilise Threnlow for any reason, you could do.
Well, yes, but not first.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's Brian first.
Can I get to Brian?
Help me! Oh, I'm unconscious.
Yeah.
I will try to stabilize Brian if I can.
Right. So give me a medicine roll, 10 or higher, just to
Don't expect
stabilise him.
Oh, I mean, it was worth a shot.
I think this is his pulse. Nope,
Yeah.
that's mine.
It's okay. It seems like all the bad blood's coming out of his body.
That's all right.
now.
Brian has made 2 successes in a row. Could be okay. Down below, Reagan left, you can see a rather ugly, hideous shape stumbling towards you.
Oh dear.
It's not me, it's something else.
Yeah, the corpse should be long dead, but isn't, and is stumbling towards you, waving its arm and grinning. And as it grins, its lower jaw falls off.
Ew.
Unfortunately, it's not alone.
Oh no.
And of course, trouble always comes in threes.
Really? I've only ever heard that trouble was singular. Like, never ever came in groups of parties together.
Always singular.
Not in my dungeons. Grundor. Right, for you to drop down, oh, you've gone straight after him as well.
Oh, no.
You really are single-minded and irritating to you. Threnlow is on the ground. He is still bleeding. Father Muckle. He looks up at you balefully, Grundor, and probably words of, and I would have got away with it too if I hadn't been children.
You meddling heroes.
Yeah, you meddling kids.
Somebody pull out his mask.
Somebody get Scooby.
Right, he's going to try. Yeah, he'll try that one again, eh? Oh, damn it! I hate you, he says. Right.
I can live with that.
Grundor to the edge. Cordelia is unconscious. Emma will stay by the bodies if you're worried about those.
I am. Yes.
Emma is certainly not going to go down and fight undead things. Frex, your turn.
I would like to move to jump down the ledge if possible.
Yep. So, Frex, you've got dark vision as well.
Yes.
So for you as well, just a simple. If you can give me a dex roll, just to make sure that you don't land and break an ankle, that's fine. So if you want to position yourself down anywhere near those zombies, actually, you could land behind one if you wish.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Know,
Make
it's
your token
7
then,
hit
Frex.
points left, but why not?
That's 6 more than 1.
That checks out. That math checks out for me.
There is that.
Reagan, your turn. There's Father Muckle that Grundor's got obviously a thing for. There are also some of these hideous creatures coming towards you.
Well, I just really feel like having a 2-1 special with a zombie close by is what I really want in life. So we'll go for the zombies.
Your battle axe slams home onto the first one.
She's on a roll.
Good to know 11 hits.
I'm just glad that my really low rolls are working for me.
You'll need those at some point. It's good to get that one sorted. He's gone. Torrendale, your turn.
Okay. So I want to get as close to the edge of the ledge without going down as I can.
Yep.
No issues with that. Like there.
Okay.
Would that be okay, or is that too far?
Yes, that's fine.
Okay.
You remember that Brian is still unconscious and bleeding.
You should probably stop that at some point.
Well, I'm trying. Okay.
No.
I'm a little worried about all of you dying at this point.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, go back. So Brian is 2-1 up in the life or death stakes. But there are still people up on the ledge. Emma will probably have a go and do something next round if it looks bad. But one more success roll, Brian, and you're back on your feet.
Just out of curiosity, did Thorndale not get to go?
He did. He moved, Torrendale. Sorry, did you want to do anything else?
If I could make a skill roll and move, I don't know that it'd be successful. But
what skill roll do you want to make?
A medicine to try to help.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, sure. Because I mean, it's all you're trying to do is apply some sort of bandage and stabilize. No.
Still can't find the pulse. So almost there.
Then you rush to the edge.
I'm convinced he's fine, so that's why I'm good.
He's fine. He's fine.
Everything's fine.
He's just
Don't worry
sleeping.
about him. He's bleeding a lot. I think it's slow.
That'll stop eventually.
It will. No, you are
Also
right.
True. Also true.
Zombie number 2 moves away from you, Frex, unaware that you're present. Frex, can you make an attack on zombie number 2, please, as he moves away from you?
Gladly.
He's just not aware that you're even there. Let me drag that over.
Oh.
That's a hit. Roll your damage, please.
Oh, for God's sakes.
Moves away and then comes back towards you, realizing where you are. Zombie number 3 moves in on you, Reagan Leaf.
Oh, no.
Things really do come.
That's a hit.
Oh, dear.
Grundar.
Okay, so I'm going to step to there. Do I need to make a dex roll to get down the ledge?
Yes, please. Anything over a 10, catastrophic.
You said over or under a 10?
Over a 10, so get to there only.
Okay, well then I will cast, since I'm not in melee range. Well, I saved, he saved.
Those unconscious. Father Muckle retreats.
Oh, sneaky little bastard.
And misses you. Rogdan. I think Rogdan will jump down. I'll have Rogdan make a dex roll just to make sure. Uh-oh. And then Rogdan probably attack that one there. Oops. I won't have him attack Threnlo again. That would be a bit mean. Okay. Battle axe. Oh, you should get an advantage on that, so I'll roll that one again. And that's a critical. There we go. Cordelia's unconscious. Emma will have a go at making a medicine roll. Unfortunately, she doesn't have any proficiency either. But that's a 10.
Hey.
Rex, your turn.
All right, let's have a go at him again. Oh, for God's sakes. It hits, but it's just so embarrassing. Ooh.
A 19 hits and that hit. They're the same.
Yeah, true statement. True statement.
Okay. Reagan Leaf, your turn.
So really quick, if I wanted to switch targets, how would I by chance do that?
So yeah, if you control left click the one you don't want to target anymore, and then you control and click the one you do want to target. And that will clear the combat tracker. There you go. So you're now switched to, you're now on number 3.
Perfect. Where I want to be. That was not perfect. All right. I am ready to accept my fate as a dead character and will work on the secondary plan.
No. Change the color of those dice. Trust me, it works. Torrendell.
All right. So at this point, Emma seems more convinced that Brian's okay than I am.
Yes. Yeah.
So I'm happy about that. I'm like, oh, I thought he was fine. My mistake. And we'll target one of these zombies who's absolutely tearing into Reagan Leaf. I don't know why I doubled up there.
Did you do the same thing I did? Click both bad guys.
We'll go for the first one, which hits.
Yikes.
Roll your damage.
I don't know what I did. Okay. That's so strange.
Nice.
Okay, 2 of the zombies are badly injured. Limbs have fallen off. But a third, number 3, as it happens, seems unharmed, or relatively unharmed. It's Brian's turn. He's a weapon keeper. Come back to him. Zombie number 1 will turn, and go Robdan. Instead, try that again. So he'll attack Robdan. Ooh, that's a hit. Zombie number 2 comes at you, Frex.
As long as he doesn't hit me for 7.
He misses.
Yes.
In effect. And number 3 attacks you, Reagan Leaf.
Well, this is a
and
shot.
Misses.
Woo! Thank goodness.
Slipped in all your blood.
Oh, really, truly. That's what happened. You cut my artery.
That's what you get, sucker. Oh, that bastard's back. So tired of his shenanigans.
Shenanigans. Okay. Zombie number 3 is smacked. Threnlo continues to decorate the floor. Father Muckle.
Just pop in whenever you want to kill us.
He is going to try and do. Oh, that would be dumb, wouldn't it? Ha! Gotcha. Unfortunately, Robdan is paralysed by Father Muckle. It's Cordelia's turn, Emma's turn, Frex's turn. Frex, it's your up.
All right, let's do this. Stop embarrassing me. Oh, for gosh sakes.
That's a hit.
No, you hit it.
Oh, I done hit it.
And Reagan Leaf. Injured, but still standing.
Well, might as well fight to the death. And by death, hopefully it's the death of zombie.
Yes, his death. Fight to their death. There you go.
That is a hit.
All right.
All right. And we can just get one more really big. That's what I'm. Oh, that's.
You thought 11, didn't you?
I did. I was like, yes, it's a big number. And then it wasn't a big number.
1.
I'll just be in the corner crying. It's fine. Big one.
Right. The zombie, your battle axe whistles through the air and takes off an ear. Torrendale.
I feel like these guys have a lot more hit points than the other ones did.
Zombies
I think that's
have
due to
a
the
lot more than
ones.
skeleton.
All right, so I don't know why. I'm control left clicking to untarget that zombie, and
Perfect.
there it
That
goes.
should work. So Torrendale, you've got nothing targeted so far. Now you've got Father Muckle.
Father Muckle. You Father Muckle. All right.
Nice.
Oh, fudge. All right. That's terrible. It's just a spark. I'm singeing his hair. You stay put.
Right. But Father Muckle is able to hold the concentration, contain paralyzing effect that he has. Brian, you're up if you're back.
Yes, I am back.
Right, so you're on 1 hit point. So basically you can take 2 actions because you missed an action turn. So if you want to cast a cure spell on yourself and then rush into combat or do something else.
No,
My only concern is Cordelia waking up and getting away.
Emma can
one of
look
those.
after that.
Okay, that'd be great. Okay.
Emma will deal with them.
Okay, so I'm going to cure on myself.
So you can...
Nice.
Oh.
And then if you want to then move to wherever you want to go and start using your trusty crossbow,
I will.
also known as Old Bess.
Oh yeah, so. Definitely. So I'm going to, if I can, just move to the edge here.
Yeah. And if you want to take a shot, I'll let you take.
Oh, great.
That's a move action, because remember, you've got basically 2 turns. So your last turn is to heal, this turn is a move, and then to fire Old Bessie at one of the zombies that's moving around below. So,
could I fire Old Bessie at Father Muckle to try and distract him?
You can do. So Father Muckle looks up and sees you aim good old Bessie that's hung above your mantelpiece for years. And he ducks as the crossbow bolt flies out.
It hung up there a little too long.
Yeah.
On that old mantelpiece.
Probably. It's not a very good one, is it?
It's covered in blood.
Right. The zombie is going to attack, unfortunately, the helpless Rogdan.
That seems ridiculous.
So he gets the hit. And Rogdan collapses. Zombie number 2, on the other hand, attacks you, Fred.
Don't hurt me.
And hits. And down you drop.
Oh, damn, exactly 7.
Zombie number 3, meanwhile, attacks you, Reaganleaf. That's also a hit. And down you go. So in short succession, 3 of you drop.
It's just so
bodies drop all around you, and Father Muckle begins to laugh.
Oh, you. Joke's on you, I'm a bedwetter.
And I'm going to use my bonus action to attack him again. Not well, though.
Father Muckle runs
Feeling
away.
so smug. Oh.
Do you want an attack of opportunity on him, please, Grunda?
Yes, I do.
Oh yeah. Hit.
Oh, yeah.
Good.
Oh.
But he carries on, running to safety.
Not dead yet.
So Rogdan, unfortunately, doesn't do so well. Cordelia's unconscious. Right. Emma's is on guard. Frex
is bleeding to death.
Oh, he's bleeding to death. Reagan, please to death. No.
Wow, this is going a lot faster now.
You're welcome.
Combat, we know we can fight.
Torrendale.
Well, so there are 3 zombies. Can I tell what they're eyeing or where their attention is drawn now?
Right, so Frex is down. The zombies are going to all move on. They can't climb up, so they're going to go on Grundle.
Maybe, yeah. I think zombie 2, because at least the other one is in a group. The other, I don't know.
Well, and
it's up to you.
So zombie
shoot
2,
whatever strikes your fancy.
Yeah, really.
All three are close to destruction.
Yeah.
There we go. Success.
Okay. Brian, it is your turn.
Can I do any sort of global healing on everyone?
Channel? No? Okay.
Not until level 2.
Like a group message healing?
Yeah, yeah. Little bit of singing.
Reagan Leaf is way
nothing
more
like that for a while.
Reagan Leaf is way more tanky than me if you want back or not. That's up to you.
Look, but I don't know if that's a good idea because they seem to get all of their hits off on me whenever they want.
Okay, yeah, I will gladly come back and die again.
So you've probably got some cantrips loaded to sheet. I'm just trying to think. I know there are some cantrips. Stabilize, I think, is one. So you could stabilize, which would automatically stop one of the characters bleeding to death, for example. Let me just double check that. So if I look under spells for level 0.
Spare the dying.
Yes, is it spare the dying?
Yeah.
Yeah, so spare the dying, which you'd have, is a cantrip. So as long as you touch them, so you could leap down and touch one of the characters and they won't be bleeding to death, Brian.
Basically,
that will also make you a zombie target.
Yeah. Well, does it bring you back with 1 or does it just keep you from bleeding out?
It stabilizes you on 0, so you're conscious, and then it's a matter of natural healing. So after about 10 minutes, you'd probably be back on 1 hit point.
Okay, so I wouldn't necessarily pop up. I would just stop bleeding to death.
I mean, it's a
you
gamble.
stop making that roll.
Yeah, so Frex is 1-0 down, so is Rogdan, and so is Reagan. But they need 2 more fails before they're dead. So you've got time.
Sure. Yeah, if you want to blast one of them.
Yeah, so I'm going to drop down, if I can, here and do Reagan Leaf.
If you want to, yeah. So give me a dex roll then, please, Brian.
Oh, sorry.
So just to make...
Yeah. Sorry if I just...
So give me a dexterity roll just to make sure the twist will break an ankle. That's fine. And then you touch Reagan Leaf, and Reagan Leaf is automatically stabilized. So I will put her on 3 of those. So Reagan Leaf is stabilized.
Aw, thanks.
Yeah.
Right.
One down.
Zombie number 1. Who is now going to go for Grundle. And misses. Zombie number 2 also goes for Grundle.
One of the only ones standing.
Let me just clear Frex. And misses. And zombie number 3, seeing you land there, Brian, will come round and go for you.
Do I get an attack of opportunity for it moving?
Yes, you do. That's a hit.
Well,
Ooh, yeah.
Well
And
done.
down it goes.
Beautiful.
And Grundor, it's your turn.
Bringing it home.
Father Muck will run away, I think. Well, he'll certainly run to here. Oops.
In my head, I hear him giggling at me, and I'm
He's
just...
going to run to there and try. Oops. One more attempt on you, Grundor. Ah, gotcha.
Yeah, it was bound to happen.
And he knocks you to the floor and then comes up and draws a dagger, and it looks like he's going to try and slit your throat for X.
Damn, that's cold.
And that's a critical failure by Rogdan. Cordelia is still unconscious. Emma is guarding them. Correct. That's a success. You're 1-1.
Woohoo.
Reagan Leaf, you're still unconscious. Ignore those. Let me put you on 12. You're still unconscious, however. Torrendal, your turn. Father Muckle is making a move to obviously kill
Yes.
Rex.
Oh, come on.
Right. Father Muckle is now badly injured. His clothes are singed and his hair is on fire.
That's far enough.
Brian, it's your turn.
Okay, so I'm going to go round, and can I get an advantage hit on zombie 1?
Yes, you can.
Alright. This is going to be a good one. I feel it.
Feel it in your bones.
We'll see. The creature only has 42 hit points left. I'm sure you can take it out in.
Oh,
that's a critical.
Great
This
one.
could be it.
Here we go. Oh, yes.
Down it goes.
Nicely done.
Unfortunately, I think you had Reagan targeted.
It's
Oh,
That's all right.
I'm sorry. Sorry.
That's why you hit her so easily. That's okay. Right. That.
good news is it's critical. The bad
Yeah.
news-
And let me just reset Reagan Leaf's hit points. And Reagan Leaf feels the hammer thump into her. And why? You
Oh,
just
dear.
stabilised
I
her.
just got so carried away. Sorry.
Right, Grundar, you've been knocked prone.
Okay, if I did the math right, standing up is half my movement. That'll still allow me to get next to Father Muckle.
Yes, sadly.
Oh.
Oh,
Nice.
no.
Nice.
Oh,
And
yes.
Father Muckle takes a warhammer to the side of his face,
Finally.
dislocating his jaw, breaking his nose, and crumpling him to the ground. He twitches feebly and is no more.
Hey, now.
Oh, that felt good.
And with that, the battle is over. Right, so just moving through Trenlow while Rogdan is no more. Cordelia is beginning to come round, but she's guarded by Emma and therefore does nothing. Frex, however, is dying. Reagan Leaf is fine. Torrendale, it's your turn. You need to stabilize Frex, please, or cure him or do something.
We're going to attempt to jump down,
Yep.
and I'm sure that'll go fine.
It does.
Okay. What will not be fine is my medicine check. Yep, he's good too.
That's the third 4 in a row.
Don't waste any spells on this man. He's fine. He's malingering.
I don't have any
He's
spells to
faking it.
waste, so
He's faking it.
Brian, it's your turn. So you again can cast a stabilize. So you move and stabilize Frex.
Yeah, that I will do.
is Rogdan is stabilized?
He's dead.
Oh,
Oh. So I'm right next to Frex, and I'm going to try to stabilize.
Yes, that's fine. So you can cast that cantrip, and that's you basically reach out, touch Frex, and Frex is stable.
The opposite of a bad touch.
Yeah.
So,
Above the
nothing-
cloth.
Yeah.
So after a short rest, so Frex, you are now no longer unconscious.
Yes.
You're on basically 1 hit point. Cordelia is no longer unconscious. Threnlo is no longer unconscious. And there you go. So you can, investigating, as I thought the dwarf would do, where Father Muckle, you come across a deep pit in the ground. There's a deep shaft that plunges down into the inky blackness beyond. A small 2-foot-high dry stone wall built around the pit. You can see there's rubble where some of the stones have lodged. But perhaps more chillingly, there's a set of stone stairs, quite well worn, that lead down into darkness.
Is there anyone that can spare a heal?
I don't have any spells left.
Okay.
I don't know why you need a heal.
I'm guessing Brian's out too.
Quit being
Yeah.
lazy. End up.
I got 1 hit point. I can do it.
That's right. Come on.
I don't feel so good, but okay.
Can I assume that shaft goes down into the Underdark?
You can. It certainly goes down into darkness. You're more than welcome to go down though and explore.
I think I'll wait for right now. We'll put a pin in that.
Are you sure? I feel like it's a really sound idea to just go down by yourself.
Just jump right in. Can I search Father Muckle?
You can.
Isles?
So Father Muckle has a knife that he had, which is made of some black obsidian glass-like substance, probably very brittle and ceremonial more than The black iron bell he has is slightly larger than the others that his fellow cultists had. He has a small leather wristband, and tucked inside the leather wristband is a small piece of paper. Pulling out the piece of paper, it's some sort of letter or missive. There's not much on it, and it's written in Elvish, which is perhaps odd.
What a shame. If only we had someone who could speak and read Elvish.
Oh, wait. I do.
Okay, so Frex, reading over that very, very quick, seems to be some sort of arrangement between somebody who signs him or herself as just M, and Father Muckle. So Father Muckle, as agreed, 3 shipments, 2 of weapons, 1 of food. In return, coffle of slaves to be dispatched as soon as possible. Signed, M.
All right. So do you want to go interrogate our prisoner?
Definitely want to do it.
Okay. I'd like to scramble up there and talk to them.
Can I get Emma to come down to watch the shaft while I go with the interrogation, since she's not here?
Sure. Yep, so Emma will come down and just guard that shaft. And the rest of you can go up and interrogate Chris.
Boy, would this be a bad time for the shaft to release?
Or good, depending on your point of view.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're both conscious.
Yes, and they've been tied up, obviously,
Okay.
by Emma and by Rogdan.
Okay, I look at Cordelia and I say, all right, let's hear it.
She just looks at you and says, "Release me, furious."
No, absolutely not. Tell me what's going on. And I show her the letter. What is this?
I have no idea. Release me at once. My father is a very important man. He will have your heads on pikes if he finds out.
I will
Release me.
drop you down that hole. I am not messing with you, Cordelia. I'm almost dead. My left hand is purple. I'm
I've
not
got a
feeling it.
boo-boo.
All right.
And
Well,
one of
if
our
you guys-
companions is dead.
Give
Oh,
me
yeah.
give me an intimidate roll, please, Brex.
Okay. Prepare to be
You
under
lean over the woman and let her know that you are not taking prisoners. She pales a bit and backs away towards Frenlo, who, in his weakened state, just waves a hand at you. Says, "Let her alone. Let her alone. She don't know what that bloody letter is. Oh, my side hurts." The Cordelia looks up at you, Frex, and says, "Well, I don't know anything about the letter. Let me go. You've rescued me. My father will be very, very grateful."
You were never kidnapped in the first place. You're complicit. So you just might as well give it up.
Oh, you talk madness. Let me go.
All right. I'll start talking to Threnlo. You need to tell me what we're doing. You need to tell me what's happening.
Oh,
We are not
bloody telling. Oh, my side hurts. I'm not telling you nothing. No,
Okay.
you release Cordelia, or it will go wrong.
It's already gone wrong.
So wrong.
We got a dead dragon over there.
We don't think you've got it in you, Master. I've seen people like you sort of planning cold.
I don't have it in me, but these other guys do.
No, I don't think so.
Does anybody have intimidate or persuasion?
I do.
I think I might. Got an intimidation.
Yeah. All right. So, Reaganleaf, you can stand over him, Majesty and Azim,
Nope, I'm.
which is not very magnificent. Basically, your heart's not quite in it. You're here for the good things in life, not the bad things in life.
To be fair, I mean, I'm feeling a little woozy. I think I might still be bleeding.
Yeah, I feel you.
Didn't really put your heart into it, did you?
I'm going to explain to Threnlo and Cordelia what a warhammer does to toes when struck individually.
That sounds suitably unpleasant. Cordelia starts crying, and Threnlo says, "All right, look, you guessed it. Look, it was just an agreement to get some money. Now, if you let us go, you can have the money. You know where it is. It's in the saddlebags."
What was the agreement? What is this thing talking about? Slaves?
Slaves? I don't know what you mean. Look, you guessed it. Mistress and I, well, we agreed that we needed some money to set ourselves up to elope. And we needed some money, but Master wouldn't have it. If he found out about this, well, I'd be out of a job, and well, I don't know what would happen to me. Yeah.
So what's with Father Muckle? How does he play in this?
Well, he was supposed to help us get rid of, well, you know, get rid of the lordling and get rid of that other fella, so we could elope with money. But I guess things went sideways, didn't they?
So the other fella has nothing to do with this.
No, he's Mercer's. Trust him. Don't like
Okay,
him either.
I'll take out the dart or the bolt from the crossbow and drop it on the ground and say, "Is this not from his crossbow?"
No, we've never seen him use it.
Well, who poisoned Reaganleaf and Torndale?
Who? Oh, your friends. We don't know.
You're too stupid for your own good.
Can I make an insight check to see how much of this is BS?
Yes, you can. Give me an insight roll. All right. Grundor, he's telling the truth, the absolute truth, and the damn truth. Torrendale, he's lying. He couldn't lie straight in bed. So take your pick. Torrendale, you suspect that he's mostly telling the truth until it comes to the letter about Slade.
Torrendale's just going to he's struggling with knowing there's information he has to share, but worried about the consequences. He says, he's not being honest about the letter and the slaves. I don't know that what we should do about that.
Right. Cordelia says, look, if I tell you about Father Muckle, will you let Threnlo and I go, please?
If you tell us everything, there's a strong chance you'll get out of here.
All right. I'll give you my word, as long as you let us both go. All we want together, you wouldn't stand in the way of true love, would you?
Oh, yes.
I don't know if the nausea is from your true love or if it's from my bite, but I just want to know.
She tells you that she'd made a deal. So the cultists that you found go back hundreds and hundreds, even thousands. Always been a cult of the Iron Bell, with priests, shaman, druids that existed in these lands ever since her father's ancestors came and conquered these lands many generations ago. Anyway, she by chance made contact with Father Muckle, and he quite happily agreed, a priest of a very small cult, to help her in return for money. What she also found out, however, was the reason the cult had survived in this area is they'd been using the Flint Tower that you've discovered. And the reason they've been using the Flint Tower is it leads to the Underdark steps that you found in the Bone Pit. Many hundreds and hundreds of years ago was the Druids discovered the Stone Pit, and creeping out of the Stone Pit were all manner of creatures and foul things that the Druids were able to tame and use in their blood. Anyway, over many generations, the arrangement between the Underdark and the Iron Bell, such that it's been an established thing that the Drow of the Underdark report the cultists of the Iron Bell in return for slaves and maps of the surface world. And that's what Father Muckle has been surviving. As an itinerant priest and hermit of the area, he gets to roam quite freely across the lands belonging to the Montacure family, sheltered and given hospitality by innkeepers, tradesmen, and so on. And wherever he goes, he makes maps, makes note of some of the outlying and isolated farmsteads, and passes this information on to the Drow, who then launch surface raids through the Flint Tower, taking captives. More recently, Father Muckle has wanted to actually arm his cultists and rebuild the Flint Tower, in secret, of course, and the Drow have been only too happy to. About a year ago, he met Cordelia, and Cordelia and he together hatched this plot to get rid of Percy Montacure, the heir for the Montague fortune, and that would also clear the way for her to marry her Threnlo. And then, unfortunately, the ransom money and the ransom escort party bumped into you guys came along, and at which point everything went sideways. What should have been an easy assassination became a bloodbath. And now the Iron Bell has lost one of its most important leaders in Father Muckle. Curse to you, kids. So, says Cordelia, that's the story. Will you let Threnlo and I leave, please? We'll just take some of the money and we'll ride.
Just a couple counterpoints here. I could care less about your intrigue and nation. Good kid, the Lord. I don't think he deserves to die, but these things happen all the time. The problem is you're working with the drow, by extension of working with Father Muckle. So they are the worst people ever. The slave trading, the murder, the raiding, you are complicit in all of these things because you want to marry this chucklehead and run away.
Oi, no chucklehead.
No.
Brenlo, you are the most chucklehead I've ever met in my life. That's besides the point.
You're only saying that because I've got 1 hit point, whatever hit points are.
Well, that's all I have too. I'm still thinking clearly.
For it.
As a moral beacon, based on my character's alignment, which does not match personally, but I have a problem with letting them go because you see, had this turned out a different way, there would have been a lot more injury and death and not goodness just in general. And as a lawfully good character, I really feel like there should be some justice chosen by the people made for such positions, which is not me. But so I would say no to letting them run money.
I will absolutely not let them go. No way in hell.
I say we truss them up and take them back to the young lord at the end and let him deal with them.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I like that idea.
Okay. So you want to take them back to the Hooded Man Inn and have a meeting with Lord Percy Montacure, who hopefully better, and his remaining bodyguard Mercer. Is that correct?
Yeah.
That is correct. Bound and gagged while we're at it.
Okay.
And Mercer's pretty dodgy too. So the Lord he's just kind of out of his depth. He's just a pampered Lord who his father sent out to get her back, and he had no business being out there. And we knew somebody was working against him, sabotage his horse so he would get hurt. So he's witless in this whole endeavor, but I still don't know about Mercer.
Okay.
Mercer's a hard man. That doesn't make him a bad man.
That's true. That's true.
Okay. Right. So do you want to, so all of you are pretty beaten up. You decide to tie Cordelia and Threnlo
I'm
up
fine,
again.
actually.
I'm sorry,
nice.
yes. Grundar was ready to run a few laps. Some of you are a little bit beaten up. Do you want to, some of you have horses, in fact, all of you have horses apart from Torrendale and Reaganleaf. But of course,
Yeah, I don't mind doubling up.
But you've probably got enough between you to sort of ride.
Well, should we stay for another short rest, get some hit points back?
I would love that.
We could roll the hit dice at that point.
So what you could do is you could rest. You could move up to one of the rooms that you've cleared, rest overnight, talk through your options. And remember, you've got a saddlebag full of gold coins. Do you take those back, or do you say those got lost on the way?
No, I say we return those.
Oh.
Here's what I say.
Here's
what wait, weren't we were offered money from the Lord.
Yes, you were.
For this. So I'm oversimplifying. If there's 2 bags of ransom, I think we keep 1 bag. We've done a huge service. We've saved the from being assassinated.
I don't think there's 2 bags. I think there's just the bag.
So not how it works. We're not allowed to make that decision. If we were offered money to help them, then whoever offered the money gets to make that call.
Yeah, that's right. But I think that we make that case when we get back to.
Yeah, you can do. You can barter and bargain. You get. So basically, there's saddlebags, and in each of the 2 saddlebags, in each of the pair of the panniers on either side, there are gold coins. So I suppose you could say, look, give us one of those panniers. Give us half the gold. Or Lord Percy might just say, I was thinking of a gold coin each.
I was thinking
go down well with any of you. So do you want to go upstairs and then rest overnight?
Yes, please.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah, definitely.
So that will give you a long rest, which will do that. And then what you can do is you make your way up to the top floor with Cordelia and Threnlo trussed and gagged so that their complaints and whimperings don't annoy you.
Ugh.
You then ride back to the Hooded Man Inn.
Just a little bit of...
Quickly, we didn't inspect that room where the four-armed skeleton dropped down. Did we want to look at the clay discs?
Yeah, you could go back and check that, yes.
I would like to do that. Also, I have one other thing before, as we can do that in a second.
Okay, so you make your way back into, or you've also got to take Roddan's body back as well.
Yeah.
And Emma will join you. Okay. So there are a large number of description of that room again. There are a large number of strange discs in the center of the dish in the bottom of the room, or in the center of the room, sorry. Other than that, there don't seem to be too much of any interest. So as you walk in, Grundar, can you give me a perception roll? Grundar and Brian, can you give me perception rolls, please, as you walk into the room? Yeah, Grundar, there's something odd about the room, but you can't put your finger on what's wrong. Brian can tell you. Brian says in a horrified voice, "Where's the golem? Where's the skeleton that we smashed to pieces?" And looking across at where the golem should be, it's gone.
Huh. What does
Well,
one
that
do?
doesn't give me good feelings.
Yeah. I accidentally closed that map. How do I bring it back, Stuart?
I can share that with you.
Thank you.
I'm feeling a bit of a cowardice sort of thing. So I reckon we should just head out.
I'm really wanting to know what's doing with that disc, because maybe the disc is what's reanimating. Maybe we can destroy that.
Yeah, there are many.
There's a lot of discs. Is there anything printed on them, or?
As you look in, yes, it looks like very, very faded. Each of the discs seems to, and the discs are slightly irregular in thickness and size. They've not been machine made or anything. Each of the discs bears an emblem of an iron bell. There are perhaps 2 or 3 dozen. And they're identical to the amulet, the clay disc Father Muckle wore.
Does anybody have detect magic or arcana?
I do. I have detect magic.
Because I'm thinking to bring them as evidence, but I don't also want the curse of golem was upon us.
I mean, I think I have enough energy to cast one more spell.
Well, you should have all your spells back, and detect magic you can cast as a ritual out of combat.
Gotcha. But did we come here after we slept?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay. And
Yeah, so you're all back on full hit points with all your spells. And as Grundor said, you've got the ability to cast ritual spells, which clerics, I think, do and wizards do. Most of your spells can be cast as ritual. Well, the non-offensive spells can be cast as ritual spells. They just take longer, but they don't take a spell slot, so to speak.
Oh, I like that rule a lot. So with like 10 minutes of time, is that what I'm seeing?
That's correct, yeah.
Okay, so I would for sure do that.
Okay, so you cast Detect Magic.
Yes.
Well, the short sword that Torrendale has, the short sword that Frex has, they are magical, but nothing else
give
is.
mine up.
Okay.
That seems like a waste that I'm having that if somebody else wants it.
I eventually can dual wield, but speaking from an omniscient point of view, I don't know that I'll have. But I will gladly take it if that's all right.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to take it if nobody else wanted it, but I think I would be low man on the totem pole in terms of.
Okay.
Like that.
Yeah, I will gladly. Short swords are my jam as a ranger. Okay. Well, what do you guys want to do? Do you folks want to take take them maybe as evidence for any investigation that might come up? Or
Well, let's take a couple just to show people that this is what we found.
okay.
Okay.
So nothing bad's happened.
Yeah.
As you take, who's taking discs again?
Oh, boy.
Dun 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 dun.
Dun, 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 dun.
Okay. So you reach in, Grundle, and take out the. And again, you can hear the ceiling begin to shift slightly.
Not good.
Damn it.
Do you want to put the discs back or just keep them and hold your ground?
Yeah, I'll drop the discs.
Yeah, put them back.
Okay. You drop the discs and the ceiling still shifts and the golem begins to re-emerge again and then retreats and the golem halts.
Oh.
If you stay in the room around the disc, the golem will attack. If you retreat, it won't attack.
Well, it was nice seeing you, Golem, and thanks for the swords. But we'll try to come back next time we're in town. Bye.
That's right. It was so much fun the last
Yeah, we'll
time.
leave that then.
And then Brex thinks, wait a minute, maybe if he reforms, he'll reform with 2 more magic swords.
More
Oh,
swords?
this is going to be so easy to make money.
You literally read my mind because I thought
Okay.
about that.
Right, so you decide that
Yeah, we're going to go.
prudence is the better part of valor, or and you retreat.
The only thing I wanted to do was we had found a skeleton of a child hanging from manacles. And so we took her down and I placed her outside, and I
Yes.
kind of like to go and give her a burial and have Brian maybe say a few blessings over her grave,
I most
See if I
certainly
can-
will. Yeah.
put her to rest.
Okay, you can do that.
Do we want to do the same for Rogdan, or do we want to take his body back?
I was thinking we would eat him because I think that he has a lot of nutrients.
I'm going to pass on that one.
Dragon jerky.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could bury him.
Reagan Leaf would say a few words over his burial, seeing as how he was such a ferocious warrior. I'm going to pretend like he was, because I don't know him that well.
He's pretty ferocious.
He was
Well,
totally
like-
ferocious.
What I like to believe. So she's going to say up a few words, just for her beliefs and stuff
Okay,
about him finding his way to Valhalla.
Let the Valkyries come and take him. Not you, you're busy.
You stay right here. You're not done with this crap.
okay. So you return to the upper floor, make ready to leave the building, but before you do, you find a spot near one of the older oak trees that stands fringing Beacon Hill, some distant from the Flint Tower, and you bury both the little child's body and also Rogdan. As the snow swirls around you this winter morning, and with somber thoughts ringing in your ears, and Reaganleaf's words, you make your way back to the Hooded Man and a meeting with Lord Percy Montague to tell him about the dastardly deeds of his. From a distance, as you ride over there, you can see that the bright and homely fires of the Hooded Man Inn are brighter and smokier. Hurrying your horses closer and closer and closer, you see to your horror that the Hooded Man is on fire.
Damn it. I knew
Figures
they were gonna-
swarm around on both banks. In this early morning light, it's difficult to make out who these figures are, but they seem well armed, and they seem to be dragging out bodies, some alive, some dead, perhaps. Certainly, they're not struggling from the Hooded Man. On the other side of the the eastern bank has also been attacked as well. And again, you can see swarms of figures loading people into what like small flat-bedded trucks.
Oh, God.
Do you
How
want
many
to-
of them, the hooded figures, are there?
perhaps a dozen or so that you can see running around.
I'm assuming
On your side of the river.
these are working with the slave traders.
Possibly.
I gotta think the Lord is either taken for ransom or dead. Do I see? Does any of them look like Mercer?
Give me a perception roll, please.
Okay. Let's see.
You think you can see Percy, and you can see him being loaded into one of the carts, but there's no sign of Mercer.
Damn it. They might have even killed them for all we know, too.
Okay, folks, it's getting on a little bit. Are you happy to carry on for a few more minutes before we stop? It's just gone 5 o'clock. I can go on for a few more minutes, but this is a reasonable point to stop.
Sure,
Yeah, it's like a good breaking point, yeah.
Yeah, definitely a good break point.
Okay, so if we leave it then as you've come to the Hooded Man, the Hooded Man is under attack. Slavers have attacked it and are beginning to take prisoners. Next adventure then, you either ride to the rescue, shrug and leave and go somewhere else where it's safer.
Okay.
All right. That sounds brilliant.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, folks. I hope for those of you who session, I hope that was what you wanted, and I'll see you. Oh, Frex, you're away next week, aren't you? Is that right?
Yeah, more than likely. I've threatened trying to take a laptop and play, but we'll see how that works out. It's a family reunion, so I might.
All right. Well, we'll see how many people go. So the idea is next session is kind of the wrap up for this Bone Pits thing, and also then I hope will seamlessly lead into you captured. So I'm afraid next session is going to end with a rather obvious conclusion.
Yeah, it's been fun getting there.
Okay.
Right. Nothing.
Thank
we
you very
need to
much,
do with
folks.
our characters.
Thanks, Stuart.
Let me just have a look at characters because actually some of them might be. So you need. Let's see. No, some of you are close to level 2, but none of you have quite made level 2.
Okay.
All right, folks. Thank you very much. I hope that was enjoyable. And
Very much.
I'll see you next weekend.
Thanks
Yeah,
for
great
running,
game. See
Stuart.
everybody next week.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thanks.
Thanks all. That's been brilliant. Thank you,
Bye,
Stuart.
guys.
Wonderful job. And we'll see you all
No
next
problem.
week. Thanks.
See you all next week.
Take care.